Here is the Regina Pacis Cathedral small supper, constructed since 1925 by the Mill Hill missionaries with a seating capacity of 500 worshippers. More than a century now, the edifice can no longer accommodate the thousands of Christians of this community and beyond. During crowd-pulling diocesan celebrations such as ordinations, hundreds of Christians often get scorched by the sun or beaten by the rain. It is for these reasons that the new cathedral project had been conceived. After laying the foundation stone of the Divine Mercy Cathedral on March 25, 2012 by the then Bishop of Boya, Monsignor Emmanuel Boshu, construction work started. After the preliminary phase of the structure, like the construction of the basement, raising the walls, and decking of the ground floor of the cathedral, the project came to a standstill amidst allegations of mismanagement. This led to the suspension of construction work on the site for some time by the authorities of the diocese. Despite all odds, Christians of the Diocese of Boya remained resilient in contributing indefatigably within their affordable means to see the realization of their cathedral. This is evident in the series of donations they make at every point after the relaunch of the Divine Mercy Cathedral on January 12, 2020 by His Lordship Michael Bibi, the then Apostolic Administrator and now titular Bishop of Boya. Leading by example, the Bishop on that day pledged a donation of 7 million francs CFA for the erection of 10 pillars.
I have a promise of a pledge. Say I will take 10 pillars. And that 10 pillars, not 7 million.
This gesture renewed hopes amongst Christians who rallied behind their proper pastor to meet all targeted contributions allocated them. With these contributions, work effectively resumed on the 15th of January 2020. While the Christians chip in what they can, the prelate on his part has been on his feet, scouting funds for the realization of this project. 3 years after the relaunch of this project, construction works at the Divine Mercy Cathedral have gone unperturbed owing to the continuous assessment and control tours to the site by the bishop. With financial contributions of the Christians of the diocese as well as well-wishers in and beyond, work continues speedily. To this effect, a lot has been achieved so far.
The bishop engaged with two major phases of the project. This is the roofing of the co-cathedral and the putting of the ties, the wall ties and the floor ties. But we first started with the second phase, which consists of the putting of the wall ties. So the specific objective of that second phase was the tiling of the wall and floor. Yes, putting of the walls, ties, and are done to completion, as you can see. And now we are on the screed and tiling of the floor. And also, at the same time, we started with the phase 3 of the project that consists of the metallic roof of the co-cathedral. Concerning the roofing progress, we can say that the lower framework is done to completion. The upper framework also is done to completion. The annex framework are done also to completion. We have started laying of the zinc proper, and the laying of the zinc are in constant progress. The laying consists of 800 sheets of zinc aluminium nature, making a total of 5,632 meters. To manage the water drainage on the roof, we start laying 13 pieces of gutter made of aluminium nature.
In addition to the installation of the roofing sheets in this church house, the placement of floor tiles is ongoing simultaneously with the installation of window frames. Recently, the prelate sent out an appeal for Christians and well-wishers to contribute towards the next big phase of the project, which is the installation of the window frames of the cathedral. One cannot conclude too fast that times are hard for the Christians, but with the mild response gotten so far, the prelate has decided to embark on other activities while hoping for more resources.
After I send the circular out for the contributions towards the windows
of the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral. We've started getting some Christians who are responding individually, and also some parishes that have launched the collection. And the monies that we have in already, we have decided that we should begin with the windows that we can do. And so far you see the window frames in part of the Co-Cathedral is being put up already. And the monies that we have received, immediately we get the monies, we do the command and we install the windows. And my prayer and wish that by the end of June and maybe July, we should be able to have had more than enough money to enable us to complete putting the windows as the rains are getting heavier and heavier. You bear with me that even though we've started putting the zinc at the Co-Cathedral, without the windows, the work will be like useless. Because once we're in church with the roof and the windows are exposed, water will still come in and it will make it difficult for us.
All has not been rosy indeed. Despite the aforementioned successes recorded so far on this project, it has also not been void of challenges, as so much is still pending at the site.
Some other work are still pending, but very soon we'll start. I can say that the work metal are under review to start. The electrical work, the plumbing work, the painting work, the ceiling work, landscaping and fence of the project under review to start.
The chief shepherd of the diocese, while extending words of gratitude to all those who have been contributing to this milestone project, remains hopeful that more persons will get on board for its ultimate completion.
I want to call on all the Christians of the Diocese of Boya, to call on all my priests in the Diocese of Boya, that we know the challenges are there. We know we live in very difficult times, but I don't doubt the generosity of the people of the Diocese of Boya. And I think this is a good initiative for us to pick up now and see to it that latest, the end of July, all the windows in this Co-Cathedral should be up. The next time we're having any celebration here, we'll see how far we have progressed with the ties, we'll see how far we have progressed with the windows, and if all of us will put our hands on deck, I think within the shortest period possible, we should be able to have all the windows up. Then we put the ties, see how far we go. If it's necessary for us to contribute again towards that, we do the contribution. And once we have the windows and the ties done, of course, I'll take on another thing, which will be the pews.
Situated adjacent the Moliko Omnisport Stadium along the road to the Bitingi neighborhood in Boya, the octagonal-shaped structure on a surface area of 2,304 meters square when completed will be a 6,000 seating and 7,000 standing capacity worship structure. Giant indeed.